They found language in the Constitution that he can't impose tariffs with emergency power. Can impose them with 2 or 3 other methods. Just means he has to wait a few more weeks or something. They're fucking retarded, aren't they? Yet they found language in the Constitution that made Obama's health care insurance mandate legal. I say not only is mandated health insurance illegal, but so is mandated car insurance. I'm not going to pay anybody else to operate my own property. How's that?
.com. And if you're going to buy anything on the store, free, when you get $4 a month, you click that button, sells up everything. So anybody buy me, for free.
It's like they want to force you into the Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company system. Like you can't live your life without Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company. The Federal Reserve. They want to see to it that you don't even live a life of your own without relying on Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company. They don't even want you to operate your own car without first obtaining and then paying somebody else Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company. Not anymore, bitch. Not today, buddy. Not going forward.
In your profile. Everyone should be a VIP. Also, sometimes stuff runs out and sells out. You know what happened? Become a subscriber. Cancel time. They hold back for you at the biggest discounts. Become a VIP subscriber. But regardless, share the live feeds of the show. Tell folks about local M&M.
My goal is to own some property in a state that doesn't have illegal, unconstitutional property tax. Not pay a dime in car insurance. Make sure I own a gun or 2 or 3 or 10 and other military equipment, just like George Washington said I have to. You know, the only mandate I believe in from our founders, framers, and Congress. And I'm not going to rely. Oh, yeah, then I'm going to hunt deer, hunt rabbit, hunt squirrel, raccoon, coyote, all year round on my own property to feed my family. And it's not going to be any of your business unless I tell you about it on my channel. Not relying on all of that is not relying on Chinese paper printed at a private Jewish company. Now because that's how most of the system is set up. I need a few pieces of Chinese paper printed at a private Jewish company to obtain the land in a non-property tax state. To have a car where I just don't believe in paying somebody else to operate it. To own my guns, I need a little bit of Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company to get these things. But once I have them, I can break out of the Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company system. I can have the land, the car, the gun, and the game as food, and a garden as food, and a stream nearby, hopefully, for that's the dream, isn't it? For those of us who wish to be self-sufficient, stepping out of the system that relies so heavily on Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company. We need the land, the gun, the game, which is indigenous to the earth, just like we are. right? Just like Native American Sasquatch are being hunted by our illegal rogue military factions. Yeah, our Sasquatch are murdered by our military. If you didn't know, that's pretty fucked up, isn't it? Families of them, too. Father, mother, child. They slaughter mothers and children. Our military slaughters mothers and children in the form of Native American Sasquatch. They slaughter mothers and children. Our military does. I'm to see that they get tried for murder. Vote for me. Write my name in on the ticket for president of these great grand United States of America. James Lee Gillenwater. The spelling's only listed in my description 3 times under all 3 payment methods if you feel you want to donate to this channel. Help me break out of the system sooner. They might not be your goals, but they are mine. I want to catch some game on my land, eat it, and have it be nobody else's business. Get some water from the nearby stream and have it be nobody else's business. Collect rain water, have it be nobody else's business. You feel me now? In fact, we all just need to have our own water purification system, namely distillation. We all need a still. We all need a still that we can either purify water or make alcohol in. Maybe we need 2 stills. I don't like alcohol that much. I'd much rather grow marijuana. Marijuana is better for you than alcohol is. Facts. Hands down, point blank. End of. On its face.
Stations, cable stations. That's how we.
I'm also going to grow tobacco on my land. I'm going to grow marijuana, tobacco. I'm going to have a still so I can have alcohol if I want, but I'm not that big on it. Although moonshine tastes pretty good. And bourbon's the best, but I don't plan on aging barrels. So that's somebody else's business. That I can choose to obtain Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company to get some, to get some bourbon if I want. But that's what it is. Wouldn't that be the life? Where you've suddenly broken through these walls, these veils, these barriers to true free Americanism that our founders intended. Where you get water for free, food for free, drive your car for free, basically, right? You pay maintenance and gas. Carry your guns not only everywhere, openly, constitutionally, for free, but on your property for free. Catching that game. What state, you ask? At this point, probably either Tennessee, because they've banned chemtrails. Only state that has, for some reason. Or Florida, which is on the verge of banning chemtrails. I just know it. And then hopefully Texas will as well. Kansas is just behind the times. I've always lived in Kansas. It's actually full of commies that act like Christians, and I'm fucking sick of it. It's full of Satanists that act like good people, and I'm sick of it.
Old Global's how's it coming down? A frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Alex Jones.
Full of lazy sons of bitches, too. Mentally lazy, politically lazy, historically lazy. Yeah, they'll get up and go to work just to give it all away to somebody. When are you going to stop, lazy fuck? Yeah, you get up and go to work every day. When are you going to stop, lazy fuck? When are you going to stop going into somebody else's four walls for Chinese paper stamped at a private Jewish company just so you can give it all away to operate your own property? You have to be fucking shitting me, stupid bitch. You lazy, stupid bitch. You have to be fucking shitting me. The light, I've been baptized by the fire of your touch. Flame in your eyes. Born to love again. I'm a brand new man. The whole town's talking. The way I'm walking leads right to your door. How I used to roam. I was a rolling stone.
But I want to start, but on X and place top trend. All what I was saying. But
Rolling Stone moves along the riverbank, getting pushed by the current of the water, losing its edge. Losing all of its edges.
Trump, they're like, why are you?
How the fuck you gonna save a republic if you're not sharp?
Hours ago, I probably said that times. 100. And defining stock market. Stock market.
Leads right to your door. How I used to roam. I was a rolling stone.
Trump going sideways on this is overall worldwide the awakening's here. The awakening's here. That's a positive. So I don't know. I mean, talk about a few others.
Well, the whole world's talking about the way I'm walking. It leads right to my door. How I used to pay taxes to pedophiles. How I used to be globalist enslaved. But not no more. Said I'm coming to fuck 'em. And stay the fuck off my door. If you don't want to fucking die today. If you don't want to die in a fucking shootout.
Start going there, and there's all sites, journalists.
Oh, stay off my door. If you don't want to shoot out.
Myself, countless others that my researchers are dozens, hundreds going a day, hundreds of horrible things that are.
Oh, stay the fuck off my land if you don't want to die. Actually, we should all share the land, and it shouldn't be one's first instinct to kill just because somebody walked across your yard or whatever. But our unalienable rights, what are they? Well, they've never told us all of them. Life, liberty, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness are just among the many God-given unalienable rights. Let's throw a fifth one in there. The right to find land, work it, and keep it. As long as you can work it, you can keep it. Where has that God-given unalienable right gone? I'm bringing it back. Vote for me for President of the United States, James Lee Gillenwater. When I'm president, you'll be able to find some land and keep it, as long as you're working it. What does that mean? Yeah, it's actually pretty loose. It's strict and loose. You feel me? Oh, oh, you're done working this 3 acres? No, move on. Let somebody else have it. Oh, you want to keep working the 3 acres and you can provide for your family with it? Good, keep it. Keep it. Pass it down to your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids. But this shit about I'm buying up all the land and nobody else can have any is over.
Just unspeakable. Not what's there, but the volume. And so I said a couple weeks ago, well, hurry up, start,
Oh, who am I going to strip of their land to kick it off? Bill Gates and China. How about that for starters? Yeah, you like that one, don't you?
redacting stuff. Search pizza, search sex slave, search helicopter.
The two largest landowners in our country have their land unlawfully, illegally, going against God and our founders. I wholeheartedly believe, and therefore I will change it when I'm president of these great grand United States of America. Write my name in on the ticket for president, James Lee Gillenwater. Gillenwater. I usually just say W.
Getting all this out. I've already pressed them. The law already passed, trying to get another law passed. I redact everything. He goes, okay. Shit.
I don't pronounce it W. It's W.
This out several times. FDA number, please. That is on the bottom of each email, and each wants to.
Imagine shooting a deer on your confiscated Bill Gates land that you've just been able to find and keep because you can work. Can Bill Gates work all that? Fuck no. Has Bill Gates lifted a finger and done a day of manual work in his life? Fuck no. He has tits. He looks like shit. He's hunched over. You can't tell if he's a fucking man or a woman. His land is stripped. It's yours now. If you have the balls to go claim it and work it, it's yours now.
No. So email is on.
And one person can only work so many acres of land. No, you can't. You can't go get half of Bill Gates' land. Fuck no. You can't even go get 100th of it. Each person doesn't need any more than 10 fucking acres. Anybody disagree with that? I don't think so. And I'm pretty sure Bill Gates owns like damn near millions of acres. I would almost say millions of square miles, but that's pushing it. I guarantee he owns hundreds of thousands of acres, if not hundreds of thousands of square miles of our land. So does China.
Tell you that Republican. Just one say, I want you to all over here.
Yeah, the Congress people are scared to bust the pedos until we ask them to. Then they're doing their job. But they won't they won't take any initiative to find any.
Hunting. Uh, lab, where we have walking it up. We're going to chop it up and put it in the freezer and fly it out. I mean, this is okay. What is Wicked Witch tell the kids, that get lost out in the forest or whatever, or their parents are too poor to get rid of them. They come out in the forest and they've got breadcrumbs. And then the lie, she wants to fatten them up, so she puts them in a cage for a while. Well, they learn chicken out or whatever. Still skinny. And I think the woodsman
Meet me at class 9:30. So many hot girls, promise. Harry, NYC. 30 between 6 and 7. Then we go to matcha, okay? Promise an abundant of young pussy flesh. Love, A. Subject Kundalini. From, well, that's redacted. To G Vacation. G Vacation. JEE. Wait, that's not vacation. That's Jiva Caution. G Vacate. Okay, that is G Vacation as well. At gmail.com. Meet me at class 9:30. So many hot girls, promise. Harry, NYC. Meet me at class 30 between 6 and 7. Then we go to matcha. Okay? Matcha. Promise and abundant. And they're not even literate. It's an abundance. Promise an abundance of, but it says promise an abundant of young pussy flesh. Dot, 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 dot. Love, A. Is that Andy, not Andy Warhol. Woody Allen. No, that's Woody Allen. Never mind. Love, A. "30 hot girls between 6 and 7." So these people, these pedophiles, are purposely getting into teaching positions. Apparently, somebody has given Epstein access to the young girls that they teach. Just constantly accessing these people who teach little girls and little boys. I mean, raising the river 30 feet in 30 minutes so you can capture 30 Texas girls. That's one thing. In your saucer, and the Clinton Foundation shows up right after. Land hurricane real quick. The DARPA throws on it. But slowly, steadily, connivingly, purposefully getting into these institutions that teach children and babies, and referring to children and babies as hot women, hot girls, cute ladies. Oh, this is so sick. I need to kill a Satanist right now to make me feel better. I need to kill a couple Satanists with my bare hands to make me feel better. Where do I find you? I was kind of sick these past couple days. You might hear it in my nose. I was parked in front of the dryer vent at the laundromat, so everybody's piss, shit, puke, blood, sweat, and tears in aerosol form and dust form, nuclei, droplet nuclei, and dry nuclei. I was breathing. Whoever was doing their laundry that day, I was breathing that. I was parked right next to that dryer vent. It was so strong, it was gassing me out every time I got out of the car, and then it was getting in my car. And I started feeling bad pretty instantly, and I stayed there for a couple hours. And I finally actually left because that was the reason. I mean, somebody else's dryer air was, or a mixture of different diseased people's dryer air was really offending me. So I left, and then I was sick the next day. So, but that's combined with that foreign agent was able to hijack my system a little bit because I was running on seed oils, glyphosate flour, Roundup. They spray all wheat with Roundup after the harvest. Do they also do it with the corn and rice? And anyway, Joseph Latipo's correct when he says we don't have to poison our food. We grew food for hundreds of years without poisoning it. And I can't believe there's government agencies that fine farmers if they're not using glyphosate resistant seeds. No, actually, I'm going to start killing the government officials that do that. Yes. Legally, politically, but if they're found to have committed crimes against humanity in a court of their peers, they're going to receive the death penalty and they're going to die. They're going to be killed, hanging from their neck or firing squad. None of this half-hearted lethal injection that paralyzes you and tortures you and puts you under excruciating pain. It just doesn't look like it because you're paralyzed. And then fills your lungs up with fluid and drowns you. No, that's not how we're going to do it. That's also inhumane. That's also pretty much a crime against humanity, which is the same as medical assistance in dying and physician-assisted suicide and euthanasia of a pet, of an animal. That's not the right way to go, folks. Even when it's time for your pet, near the end of the road, don't go kill them. Don't go filling their lungs with fluid and drown them. And it looks like they're okay because they're paralyzed. No, you're real fucked up. You're a really fucked up fuck if you do that, man. Anyway, that's not just my opinion. I think I was on a wider road before I broke off on that tangent, but I'm glad to have found a lot. Flesh. He said fresh. The word is flesh.
The six plays been delivered. Unreact now. Harrison, I am so excited to talk to you. I want to the Irish Cinema was a big game changer for me.
Okay.
But the thing is a thyroid issue. The has that peculiar thyroid.
They were incentivizing Epstein, saying, "Hey, you really want to come see me? Because if you do, you'll be able to see 36 and 7-year-olds, young pussy and flesh." And of course, they didn't say whether or not they captured any of them, whether or not one of them didn't make it home from school that day, or two of them. That would be suspicious, wouldn't it? You got to wait till they're all away from the school and then I don't think they're walking home from school at that age. I was, but they better not in this day and age, especially if they're girls, especially if they're white girls. That's just the facts, the reality. They prefer to consume little white boys and girls. They eat little white boys and girls, and they impregnate black women so they can uh, extract all the fluids from the baby and inject themselves with it. And they hunt black people. So they eat white babies, and I don't know which ones they prefer to fuck. Probably the white ones too. I wonder if the black community would have caught on to them and busted their ass sooner if they were doing this to them. I mean, yeah, they're inviting a few of them to the island and hunting them, but they're not stealing and eating their children. So it is another level. It is a level worse. I mean, you know, it's pretty equally bad because when you defile a good innocent person, whether they're white, black, red, yellow, brown, when you defile an innocent person, you're really going against God and Jesus Christ. You're going against our Creator and our Constitution that was made for a moral people. Vote for me, James Lee Gillenwater, for President of the United States. Like it's amazing. All right, hey, all the time. I love this. I have a history and I love it. And really good was put together, and they work really well. I really I thought all the stuff. I love you and I want to support everything that you do. But the formulas are good. So what affects these things? And we all need the option to add preserve and revive to our oaths. It's not just protect and defend the Constitution. And it's not just the president that gets to add the word preserve. Everyone needs to not only add the word preserve, but revive, especially the president. If anything, the other ones need the word preserve, and the president needs to add a fourth one: revive the Constitution. We've had too many of our freedoms taken from us by bad men and bad women. They're not of this country's founding. Vote for me. A minute, baby. You take my life, but I'll take it too. You find it, but I'll run it through. how Satanists keep convincing us to to destroy our own history by bombing other countries, not only by genociding white people all around the world, but by destroying the churches and the museums and all of the evidence of our history. The Committee of 300, the Trilateral Commission, the British East India Trading Company, the globalists, the worldwide bankers, the COINTELPRO doesn't want us to know our own history. And it'll serve you well to recognize each group for what they are when you hear them, like UNESCO, WEF, NATO, the UN, the EU. They're all destroyers of our history.
Central, but you're here with me and our great researchers. Next segment until this hour ends. Then 11 a.m. Central. All right. Here's the deal. I got Bill Maher saying Friday night.
He might be doing
it. Megyn Kelly saying Democrats are.
That's it.
We have not at their age. Oh, not that. But before you, I'm something in Europe, styles out under name.
And they always just find pottery. They always just tell us they found pottery, not 7,000 elongated skulls or a mass grave of children.
All of sacrifice the Aztec type culture, all over.
And by elongated, I don't mean we did it or they did it. No, an elongated skull does not come from banding your head. There are a few cultures that do that a little bit, but I can't help but wonder if they are also part Nephilim. You know, that extinct race of giants Abraham Lincoln mentioned at Niagara Falls that had elongated heads, that had giant heads, that had mouths 2 or 3 times the size of ours, that had that were 8 to 12 feet tall. You know, a big square jaw instead of a little round one.
West Coast. They're checking up all of stuff that's just dug up in Carthage. Tens of thousands of children. Just what they found. Killed while they were alive. Because they can tell.
Beating your gain of function, bitch.
The archaeology. Burned alive. So, and that's what the Romans wrote in their history. That was one of the reasons they come over. And people said, oh, that was an exaggeration of the Romans. Now they know it was not an exaggeration. And it wasn't just the Carthaginians that were doing it. That's in North Africa, but Carthaginians are mainly Greek and Sicilian. So this goes all over the place. This is the norm. And the Bible Abraham is told, stop human sacrifice. Don't do it anymore. There's hundreds of verses. You give children to sacrifice, but you must not profane the name of God. I am. Any of your children offered as a sacrifice to Moses, for you must not bring shame of God. And that's all the Old Testament, okay? And everything when they talk about what's going on, they've done up all this stuff, okay? That's just one. There's a whole bunch of them. Say, oh, that's crazy. You know, the Satanist always, oh, nobody really kills people. Nobody really kills. The entire Satanism rally thing is about fluid, okay? That's why Christ said, stop doing that. Have this wine as my blood. Have this bread as my body. It was he's pointing. I'm the last sacrifice. I give myself away. Stop it. That's why he said, I have come not overturn the Old Testament, but to fulfill it. The two things go together like a horse and carriage. So a person that doesn't understand world history reads the Bible and says,
flag and Bible, flag and Bible. Don't you buy into their bullshit libel. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Flag and Bible, flag and Bible. Boom. If you watched Al Bundy in the 90s, that's the whole song. Gosh, I want to hear that. I'm about to listen to that intro. $18.99 a month for YouTube Premium. You gotta be shitting. Oh my gosh. I'm getting grossed out because the space heater is blowing on my pants. And it's you know, when you're ironing, you can smell the fabric. So I'm vaping my CBD, and then I get this it just smells like fabric is being ironed. But it's even worse because it's a constant wind of IR. The IR is good, but this IR wind is throwing fabric fragrance up into my throat. I'll pass this to him. But look how easy it is to make hot air balloons. I imagine they really did that. Take a picture of that. Come back and share premium with family. You're not a family company, bitch. Let me find out that the chief technologist of Google was receiving financial advice from Jeffrey Epstein. Let me find out who else was. Okay, we have this bucket that we're using for panning into the, you know, It reminds me of a siphon hose. And in fact, it was about 25 foot long, 1 inch siphon hose. Now, this first trick to do this could be who knows. Ah, ah, I died. I permanently got biological nitric acid or gas. Okay. Now, if it's too nasty, of course, putting your hose into it. But for a short siphon, you can get it started by putting the hose down in the water, get the air out of it, bring it up, bring it down, and immediately your siphon starts. And as the siphon establishes itself, we can suck up little pieces of mud with it too. And it's got some airlock in it yet. Sometimes your airlock doesn't come out as quick as the other times. So we're not going to worry about getting that out of there because we want to go on to the more acid, which is what I did with a 25-foot long hose. It was a 1 inch diameter hose. I had it partially closed off with my finger, partially twist, and I started it with an air hose, making a venturi. Now, when I do this so that I can get more of that air out of the line, I'll not just see where the water starts, but I'll slow and let it continue to build up more flow before I let it go on its own. And it's actually really amazed me how well the 25-foot long 1 inch hose. It took me about 3 times that long, but that was it. It amazed me how well it worked to start a siphon. So I just thought I should pass it on to my good, faithful viewers and anyone else that wants to watch. Okay, we have. And that was a regular garden hose. That was amazing. Wow, that was incredible. Anyway, untreated diesel solidifies it around. Oh, it's all gelled up. Solid. Solid. Got a blow dryer. Oh, I get it now. And thanks for teaching me these processes. Because he's got a jet heater underneath it to start. Oh, a Model A. My grandpa had a Model A. My mom and uncle had a Model A with my grandpa and grandma when they were kids. When my mom was a kid, she rode in a Model A. -2, -4. Yeah. You know what? That might be newer than a Model A. That's something a little bit newer than a Model A because it resembles an Army Jeep in some ways. It's definitely from the or 40s. Uh, it might be from the 20s, but I think I think that's from the 20s or 30s. It's about 100 years old. Wow, that's so crazy. But it could also be from the 40s. I'm not sure. But it just has that Model A look. But it does have a lot, a few advanced features on it. You can see. This is awesome. I forgot what I came to YouTube for. It was the intro to some show. Not Cops, not Star Trek Next Generation, not X Files, not Unsolved Mysteries. What was I thinking of? I don't remember what it was, but here's one that came to mind.
Snail. When you were trimming before, you probably heard them. Now,
The Quack, because he's a faggot. Faggot. I actually liked I Dream of Jeannie more than Bewitched. I Dream of Jeannie intro.
F.G. Only she didn't want to be free. You know how it is when you've been cooped up in a bottle for 2,000 years. Have it with Captain. So she back to Cocoa Beach, a mythical town in a mythical state called Florida. And there, always spin.
But that wasn't like the theme song. Okay. He was a little bit more like that. Oh, can he put her back in the bottle then? Or she'll go back in the bottle. Get mad at him and stuff. And if he hurts her feelings. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. Aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. And of course, I got made fun of and got called Gilligan several times as a kid. However, it was already an oldie, and most people, didn't watch that. But enough did that I heard it a few times. As in most kids. All the adults grew up watching it. That would be the alignment of the time. Professor builds a telephone to call for help.
Don't you understand? It's a telephone line. We can telephone for help. Telephone?
Well, we're about to start our second hour of incomplete call.
Hello.
Oh, where have you been? I've been calling all evening.
I've been out at a business meeting, girl.
Oh, business meeting.
Don't be ridiculous, Sybil. There's no one with me.
Hello? Can you hear me? Who was that? Your parakeet? Oh, please help us.
Sybil, wait a minute.
You must take me for a fool, Larry.
Sybil,
Hello, this is Ginger.
I don't know who you are, young lady, but get off this line.
Oh, don't you understand?
The yellow line, the green line. Right, the yellow over the green. Now, we know we picked up Hawaii on the green wire and Australia on the yellow. And certainly Peru came in very clearly over the brown wire. That's right, and that should the Western Hemisphere should come in over the brown, the yellow, or the green wire. And certainly the United States should come in very clearly on the red, white, and the blue. But telephone wires just don't work that way. Now, the key to the pattern seems to be the red wire. Oh, but the red wire must be the direct line to Moscow. Skipper, I said the telephone wires simply don't work that way. Well, Professor, I sure hope you know what you're doing. I mean, we spent a lot of man hours putting these colored lines up. Well, it's the only way to solve any problem. Logic. Now, the deductive form of reasoning, the wires used most frequently should relate to the United States, which has more telephones per capita than any country in the world. Now, the combination of that color with other colors should indicate a progressive ratio scale with the other countries proportionate to the percentage of telephones located in those countries. It's really very easy, isn't it? Well, the important thing is while I figure out which color will guarantee us a telephone call to the United States.
Whoa, the phone they made looks like a fucking dick. It's a straight dildo with a pee hole cut out of it. What? This is... Wow, it's got the wire coming from the top. Looks, what's that, some kind of jizz or something? A little scar on the bottom for the cut foreskin. Is that what's going on? What the fuck? This is whacked out. Now I can tell who's sitting in front of a green screen, too. Oh, and then you have the shell that looks just like a vagina.
This is the operator. Will you kindly deposit 10 cents for 3 minutes, sir?
An operator.
Will you kindly deposit 10 cents, sir? This is the operator. Will you kindly deposit a dime, sir?
Oh, don't go away, operator. Hey, I got an operator in San Diego. I got an operator in San Diego.
I'm sorry, sir. You'll have to deposit another dime.
Oh, I could tuck it in. I got a quarter. I got a quarter.
I'm sorry, sir. We cannot make change. If you give me your name and address, I'll send you.
I don't know where.
If you wish me to continue to keep this line open, you'll have to deposit the quarter.
It's an operator. Don't lose it. An operator.
Did you deposit the quarter?
There's no.
I'm sorry. I cannot keep this line.
Wait, listen to me. We're shipwrecked, you see, and we found this telephone line and we tapped into it. And we're on a deserted island, there's no telephone booth or even a phone. We reached her, we'll reach somebody else. I don't think we're going to have many more chances today, Professor. Look at that sky.
Marianne has a little lump on her. Marianne has an arch to her back and a bubble butt. Oh, the phone got destroyed.
The cable is gone. What could have happened to the cable? Well, the same way the first storm the lagoon, last night's storm must have pulled it. With the bare telephone lines exposed to the salt water, it won't be long before they corrode break. Well, then we will be rescued. The phone company will have to send out a repair crew, and we'll be rescued in a few minutes. Oh, no. What did you do? I wrapped them up real nice and dry with the rubber the professor made.
Oh, he finally did something high level.
Taxes was so.
That's interesting. I didn't expect that. Gilligan turned out to be a genius. Whoa, this must be the first version, or the. I mean, this seems like an early one because I think another version was maybe a little more upbeat because I thought I was saying some of the words on time, but they were like one later. But yeah, and the other version says after the movie instead of the movie star and the rest, it's the movie star, the professor and Marianne here on Gilligan's. So did he go into here on Gilligan's Isle though? Okay, I feel like I want to find the other version of it. Which one did I just watch? Gilligan's Island intro by. Okay, season 2 opening. Aired September 16th, 1965. Oh yeah, that's that shit. Yeah, it is more upbeat already. You can tell. More music in April 28th, 1960. Gilligan's Island season 2. It's going fast. Aired September 16th, 1965. April 28th, 1966. Okay, these are the 2 times it aired, I guess. MCM LXV. Gladesia. UATV, all rights reserved. 1625-0762. So, okay, so copyright MCM LXV. I'm not sure what that is. And associated with the CBS television network. Filmed at CBS Studio Center, Studio City, California. I want to see if my car has battery. Let's see. She fires. She bangs. I still can't remember what I was supposed to. Which intro I came here to watch in the first place. That's wild. I'd have to go back and watch the beginning of my own stream. Wow. It knew what I was thinking of.
Your dog deserves more than just a walk. They deserve Barktopia. And outdoor play areas are a paradise for puppies.
YouTube knows I've already watched 5 intros from shows from the 60s and 70s. And so when I typed in SAND something and then that was a typo. I backed it up to SAN. It populated Sanford and Son theme song with 3 letters. So that's pretty easy to, especially when it's probably heard me say Sanford and Son before. So it's easy to predict. It would be easy for a person to predict that that's what I was searching for as well. Based on that information and what we're doing right now. Wow. Pa, or the dad from so Red Fox kind of looks like Royce White and Frederick Douglass. Royce White also looks like Frederick Douglass. Did Red Fox have Jewish in him? Region. Or Irish? Like Steve Bannon from the side. He said, I probably got something that he cancels his ass right up. Yeah, it's called natural killer cells. It's happening all the time. Yeah, I don't even remember which theme song I was gonna look up.
This is gibberish. But if you know history, archaeology, it's all accurate. That's why people say, "Oh, the Bible's literal," but then you'll have these mainline preachers. But the big wheels landing, spaceships flying around, and giants, and aliens breeding with humans—that's all metaphorical. No, it's not. Noah wasn't perfect in his generation. He was a perfect person. Christ was the only person that was sinless, God in flesh. No, it's very clear. The whole chapter before is that the sons of men came from space to heaven, daughters of humanity, and made hybrids that were evil. And God saw that almost none of the genetics was good, so He wiped out the earth. And every scripture tells us that. So the whole Bible is about God wiping out devil worshippers.
What if there were a few Noahs? I can't help but think that over the entire earth, there were several Noah type figures that survived the flood with their family. Who else kind of feels that way? And their ark might have been going underground in a sealed cave system where the pressures wouldn't allow the water in so deeply. And then there's fresh water way down below. Whole cavernous environment to survive in. Maybe even a bioluminescence instead of sunlight. But bugs that light up, slugs that light up, fish that light up. So interesting.
And wiping out human alien hybrids. That's what it says. And classified briefing on 5 underwater alien bases.
Those are human bases, right? I mean, yeah, maybe some of them are alien, but some of them are fucking human too. I think most of them are human, but pretty sure that Jesus Christ slays all that, man. No matter what, whether it be man-made AI, androids, aliens assisted by us, by our slave labor, um, because they can't be doing what they're doing without us apparently, and they're hiding from us as well. They are hiding from us as well. So it's either fake or they're scared. And that's for you to know that Jesus Christ gave himself willingly. Nothing like that stopped him. You feel what I'm saying? Nothing like that ever stopped him. No alien and no man made technology ever stopped Jesus. They couldn't stop him. He told his buddy, because most people probably wouldn't do it, but he told one of his buddies to, you know, go tell him where I'm at. I'm turning myself in. That's what he said. So, and what it is I don't know. And what he was turning himself into a false phony system. And that's also where we're at now. And he said he was to be the last one. Now, I'm wondering why he didn't stay and rule more, but maybe he wouldn't be as remembered. He wouldn't be as renowned if he hadn't given himself. But a big problem is that they're hiding information from us about him. They're hiding a lot of information about Jesus. These fake Jews who really want to slander him as a criminal. No. A Satanist can get fucked by my hand, just like Jesus, just like it was Jesus's hand. A Satanist can get fucked, can get slapped by my hand. Can get a hole punched through them. Can get their bones broken with my fucking hand. Can get their fucking teeth busted in, their face collapsed from my hand. You know what I mean? That's where we're at. Whether they be Mexican cartel terrorists embedded as enemy in our country, posing as American citizen families, like the ones I've encountered, or other types of Satanists, paid actors running our Congress and Senate, where regular Americans don't have representation anymore. You ever heard of a revolution fought over a 3% taxation without representation? We're at about 50 to 90 right now. When you talk about the free energy that's been removed, we don't even have free energy technology like I suspect they had in the colonies. We pay 90% of our money into so-called mandatory payments. And we don't have representation because satanic actors are being paid to hold our positions of office, where regular people with everyday jobs aren't getting the Senate position, aren't getting the Congress position, the House of Representatives, because a bunch of money is being put into these campaigns for satanic. Basically, most of them aren't very good, but professional actors. They're just actors, like they're theater kids that for some reason went into politics. You know what I mean? They got into devil worship, a lot of them, and I'm here to kill them. I'm here to kill them, hopefully legally, by hanging them from their neck until they're dead, or firing upon them with a squad, because they've broken the law in so many ways. This is a Christian nation. This is not the exact same times Jesus was in, and we're not Jesus. It's time to kill these fake politicians in front of our children, and for them to know why this is occurring, and for it to be 100% righteous and just, and done by upright walking people, moral people, which is what our Constitution, which is who our Constitution was written for. Whom? How do you say that? Moral people for whom our Constitution was written only.
Buckle up, because
and the return of Christ. I guess those are the same thing, right? Or a similar time frame there.
See the
I always drop the lid of my water bottle onto the floor, like every other day, and so I throw that lid away and buy a new bottle. Well, one time a few days ago, I did, rinse it, wipe it, put it back on, and drink out of it. Now I can't help but wonder if maybe that also contributed to me getting sick, because what's on the floor is piss, shit, puke, blood, sweat, tears, uh, dead skin, multiple species of piss and shit, fungi, viruses, man-made viruses, spike protein sheds from other people's bodies processing man-made viruses. And so it's like, you think you can just rinse? You think you can just rinse and wipe that? Fuck no. Anyway, we're always breathing a little bit of that stuff too, right? Yeah. When you're breathing your pants, when you're breathing your dirty pants, when the space heater is blowing right on your pants, and you're breathing it in, it's like you're ironing dirty clothes, and just and just only breathing that. Probably still better than breathing other people's random laundry at the laundromat coming out of the vent. Just a huge concentration of it blowing right on you, inhaling it, putting it into your body. Whatever you breathe, you're also building your body out of.
system and basically takes over your.
Yeah.
Church. They would meet at a hotel up in North Austin. The guy was preaching pictures of ours.
The Satanists are all scared of me. Even Rumble doesn't show my content to anybody. Can you fucking believe that? I have even outed Rumble as the enemy of our great grand free nation. I've even outed Rumble.
I remember like 28 ago, last night, at some Denny's or something.
I mean, YouTube makes it obvious. Warning, block, community guideline strike, suspension during elections. For my first offense, first strike, which is supposed to be a week, they struck me for 2 weeks during elections. Didn't want me reaching out to anybody. And right now I have an account warning on TikTok simply because I tried to post Alex Jones content 3 times, like 2 or 3 times, and they said one more and I could lose my account if I violate their guidelines. They called Harrison Smith violent extremism, and it was just a comedy skit about so-called mandatory COVID vaccines. You know, that shot that had Epstein's DNA, heavy metals, aborted fetal tissue, blessed by Satanists. It's not blessed. No, it's a different word. Hexed and cursed by Satanists in their rituals after they chop your baby up. So they were chopping your baby up and re-injecting you with it, or injecting you. So, but they're doing a real fucked up version of what they do to themselves. They themselves have pure, clean babies with like African women who've never eaten processed foods or breathed heavy metal air, and have a high animal based diet probably, and they inject themselves with babies and stem cells they have. Well, the stem cells from the baby, but they make a fetus. They make a baby and they stick a needle in it and suck it dry. They extract all the fluids from the baby, and then they inject themselves with it. So they give themselves anti-aging and life extension. Meanwhile, they give you, not that you would want that anyway, or you would consider it that, but then they give you a poison version of it that has Epstein's DNA. Oh shit! Funded by Bill Gates to sterilize you, and the shedding of the spike protein might also sterilize the people around you, even if they didn't get injected. We'll see, man. We'll see. The cocktail admitted in the Epstein emails that stunts our development. They're the Trilateral Commission, which is the Committee of 300, which is the descendants of the British East India Trading Company, or the enemy of George Washington. He was the first to tariff them. He tariffed them, and they didn't like that. And then they invaded us and hijacked our country, took the northern states, psyoped us into a civil war, took the southern states, or at least installed themselves. Enemy was installed in every state. And now they've combined the greatest nation in the world with their global trading company. And I forgot what my main point was. I'm not used to explaining all this all the time, but I'm learning more about it, and it'll become easier with time. And I'm glad other people are catching on to this. But yeah, they don't like freedom-loving Americans. That's why they want to chop up your baby in the womb. They want if your baby makes it out of the womb, they want to shoot it up with poison. If it survives that, they want to feed it, poison. They want it being your child, even when it becomes an adult, to breathe poison and drink poison. And they just want to eliminate freedom-loving people, and they want slaves. That's where we're at. Our founders were conquered by the British East India Trading Company, and nobody wants to tell us about it. It's time we revolt again, folks. It's time we revolt again. legally, properly. Maybe in each state, maybe in each county. Somebody let me know which county is good. Not just the states. I know that Tennessee and Florida are good because they've banned chemtrails and mandatory poison injections. They're like the only two states. One's done one and the other one's done the other. So nobody's fully free yet in any state. But some states don't have property tax. Some states don't have state tax. But I'm looking for a state that doesn't have chemtrails, doesn't have any type of mandatory injections, which they're not anyway. You need to always assert your bodily autonomy. They want to feed you a lie that she's chopping up a baby for bodily autonomy. Then you say you're never injecting me or my kids because of bodily autonomy. Okay. I need to find a state that doesn't have state tax, that doesn't have property tax. It has low sales tax. So, and hopefully we can eliminate federal tax with tariffs with our great president. And kick the British East India Trading Company out of our country. And at least learn about what they've destroyed. Maybe even try to undo some of their destruction, some of their flooding of our Native American ancient sacred sites, our Wild West pioneer settlements, and our Knights Templar churches. The Army Corps of Engineers has destroyed our history with man-made reservoirs and fake great fires that are clearly trinitrotoluene bombings. Stone doesn't burn in a house fire. That's why you see the selected ones that they chose not to destroy, deconstruct, blast, burn, and flood. There's stone buildings in every city and town that have char marks on them because, those are the ones they decided to go ahead and keep and burn everything else down around it. Blow everything else up, in fact. And, you can, it's proof that stone doesn't burn in a fire. But you can blast some other ones down the street and then burn the wooden ones in between and eliminate our free energy system. It's time people understand what we're up against and what we were born in and what's been taken from us. We used to charge airships at the tops of our buildings that conducted electricity. A church used to heal you as soon as you stepped into it because it conducted electricity. A healing hotel used to heal you when you stepped into it because it conducted electricity. We had an entire different society based on our free energy system, transmitted through stone buildings. And you could also charge an airship, with a windmill or on a ship that was, had coal or oil power, and then or maybe actually they probably obtain energy from the atmosphere to power the ship. Maybe, who knows? Somebody let me know about that. If you charge an airship from a sea ship just by docking at the antenna, is that ship powered by coal, oil, or Tesla coil? And they don't want you to combine a Tesla coil with an airship. Then you can travel the world for free. You can sail around. We can all sail around the entire Earth for free all the time at our leisure if we mount a Tesla coil on our airship. But also, anybody can make a hot air balloon, right? And we need to. We need to. We all need to have personal hot air balloons that we can just extend out of our backpacks, and it makes us light, and we can just like jump 20 feet. You know how we run and jump in our dreams, and it's hard to run, but we figure out how to do these leaps and bounds where we're flying through the air. We can actually do that with backpack hot air balloons. Easy to make. A little propane stove torch under the inflated bag. You heat up the air, it's lighter than the surrounding air. Boom. Personal hot air balloon. Even if it doesn't lift you all the way up, which would actually be safer because it would make for a smaller balloon, a smaller bag, and you have control. You're jumping 20 feet. You're not getting pulled up and away to crash into anything. And plus, we don't need all these wires and poles for this fake energy system. This outdated enemy-given energy system.
He goes, I've been given a vision. You'll be given an injection that takes over your genetics and begins to make you where you can merge the machine. And he goes, I continue to have this dream vision. That's what it's going to be. And I was like, wow. This is just some old country boy. What was his name? Steve Quayle. Around that time was writing books saying the same thing. And he was being given, literally, God was saying, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to look like. This is what's going to go on. Steve Quayle, he's always very reactionary and very, very, right in the moment because he wants to get people awake. But when it comes to being the trailblazer, I actually was thinking about Steve yesterday, today, because I saw a bunch of my books in my office, his books, and I was cleaning them out and he shut down next month, which is close. Anytime the receiver saying he would shut down any day, maybe tomorrow. And I was flipping back through them and I was just like, stuff he wrote like 30 years ago all came true. It's just wild. I mean, like, we are all so vindicated, folks. It is absolutely crazy.
One of the most impressive men I've ever heard speak, Steve Quayle.
So, look at this. This was a post on X and links through the archaeological files. You look at the mainline archaeology findings just last year. Overhead shot right here, please. And this is the Carthaginians. Look at this. This was a post on X and links through the archaeological files. You look at the mainline archaeology findings just last year. Overhead shot right here, please. And this is the Carthaginians, a description from the Roman histories. They've now dug it all up and are able to read stone tablets confirming it all. And here they are sacrificing children to the fires. They just open up like an oven and throw them in. And it says, archaeological evidence reveals that ancient Carthaginian practiced child sacrifice on a scale previously dismissed as Roman propaganda. The Topet of Carthage, a sacred burial ground dating to 800 to 146 BC, contains thousands of urns filled with charred infants and child remains. Modern excavations and bone analysis confirmed these weren't stillbirths or natural deaths. They weren't cremated while they were dead, but deliberate ritual killings performed during crisis periods and as offerings to the god Baal, you can also call him Moloch, Haman.
And like he said, the Carthaginians were Italians and Greeks. So check this out. Why has the Catholic Church been hijacked by Italians? By Satanists, obviously, clearly. Especially when they were slandering these artifacts, these facts, these historical facts, as Roman propaganda. I think that means we're the real Romans, not the Italian Catholics. That's not Rome. I think they've hijacked it. That's not Rome. They moved it.
and Tanit. And then it goes on. Well, that's where it's different term. A practice called Moloch in Punic inscriptions, the same name, targeted children from elite Carthaginian families. Parents offered their firstborn son during military defeats, famine, or plague.
Alex Jones is a Hammond, which is one of the child sacrifice gods. Well, he does admit to killing 10 of his children through abortion, through funding abortions for women.
Sacrifice would restore divine favor. Inscriptions on.
Alex Jones said he had sex with 150 women by age 16. I guess I believe him. I mean, everything was in person back then. I think this digital stuff has reduced our chances of getting laid. It's really sucked it. It's really sucked it to the 5% of men that can get 90% of women. The women know exactly where those 5% of men are, and they're constantly going for them. You know, tall, dark, handsome, rich. Before this, anybody could get laid. People were acknowledged for their character and for how unique or cool they are, or for what they know. And now people don't even care to know anything, and you can't really get laid if you know something.
Initiative Stone described these offerings explicitly. Roman and Greek historians, including, it goes through them, documented the practice in horrifying detail, describing bronze statues with outstretched arms, which fires consumed children, all drums drowned their screams. It goes on and on. And it gets into all the DNA and who they were and what they were doing. So that's the reality. Got all these emails, Jeffrey Epstein and the Rothschilds and people, most of it, a lot of it blacked out, saying it was really great hunting those people to death last night. Yeah, we killed a bunch of blacks, call them N-words. And then in the 20s, in Europe, they had a huge conference.
Epstein email saying we killed a bunch of niggers.
In giant sports stadiums, huge cost, reenacting. That's right there. Human sacrifice of children. So here's Megyn Kelly. And
I don't take that too kindly, especially if they're American.
I've also got from yesterday, Bill Maher. So let's try to grab that.
I'm tired of these satanic Jews. And not all Jews are satanic. It's well known that there are Baal or Satan Jews. And then there are Yahweh or God Jews, God-loving Jews. So you have Satan worshipers and then God, Creator worshipers, our Lord worshipers, Jewish people. And so, but this mafia of white supremacist satanic Jews that I think they've hijacked. They found refuge or a safe haven in their hijacking of Judaism, and they think that they're safe, trying to play the 3-card Monty on us with the culture, the religion, and the bloodline. No, didn't work that way. Globalist, East India Trading Company descendant, Committee of 300, Trilateral Commission, poisoner, mutilator, mutator, human and animal sacrificer. I'm coming to kill you. I am an American Christian crusader, and I'm coming to kill you.
Say he doesn't it's crazy. The Roman history, it's in the Greek history, it's the Carthaginian now that they've dug them up. Okay? And what Plato wrote about is the Old Testament, the exact same thing. Okay? So this is a fact. Just like you go and get a tour at Chichen Itza, and they'll have people with degrees from Mexico City, archaeologists, and they will sit there and explain it to you, and they're all mostly Hispanic. And I've gotten tours down there at least 6-7 times.
They don't want to push a real motherfucker around here, do they?
A lot of it in many other temples. So fascinating. And like, yeah, they lie. The liberals in the U.S. will say they didn't sacrifice children and women and everybody. Of course they did. The Aztecs basically exhausted their population. They killed people by the end. And that's why Cortez, like 240 men, took over Mexico City. Because the best and the strongest is what the gods did. Mesoamericans, they got their skeletons from 15, 20,000 years ago. They're 6 foot tall. The men, many of them.
So Satanists psyoped cultures into sacrificing their biggest, strongest warriors. What do you think happened to us in the Civil War? Can you imagine how big and strong most of our fighters were? In the South and the North, especially the South, because there weren't as many little Spaniards, little Italians, little Frenchmen running the British East India Trading Company, capturing our capital in the northern states. Can you imagine how giant the men were? The Americans in the North and especially the men in the South. In higher numbers, of course, most likely, right? Yeah, but then again, some of it was French territory already. I don't know. Come on. Napoleon doesn't represent all French people. Come
on average, almost 6 feet tall. Why do you think the folks in Central and South America, the natives, from the native stock that aren't mainly Spaniard, why do you think the men are like 5'2" and the women are like 4.5 feet tall? It's because if you were tall, and if you had blue eyes, you're albino, you're dead. Same thing in Africa. If you're an albino, they're killing you in most areas because it's magic. It's the same crap all over the place, over and over again. Okay? This is human history. This is what brings down civilization. This is 100% real, like the sun coming up in the morning. And it all continues. It never went away. It just stayed underground. Okay? The whole vampire metaphor is a metaphor.
Which means we easily kill them when we choose to. We kill the killers. Don't confuse me with some type of harmer of the innocent. No. I'm here to kill the killers. I'm here to kill the harmers of the innocent. I'm here to stop them. I'm here to save life. I'm here to save innocent life. Whether it be child, animal, regular adult, elderly, I'm here to save innocent life by killing the killers. And that's why they've had to go underground in the past. Clear evidence, clear deduction exposes that. Simple.
For the Satanists. And if you want to know who our leaders are, they are devil-worshipping vampires, okay? Period. You understand? And it just goes from there. And so you hear all this depraved stuff, and it doesn't sound real. It's because these people have gone over the edge of a cliff and they're bottom of hell. It just gets worse and worse and worse, and generally leads to Satan finally killing themselves. Miserable husk, demon possessed, totally controlled. Les Wexner saying, I am possessed by a demon. It runs my life. He names the demon. It's in the emails that they're under control. Epstein is under demonic control. It's real. Every time people take DMT, little elves show up and say, "Oh, you'll live forever. You'll be divine, but you must get rid of your bodies. You must kill everyone. Humans are bad. Join us. Kill yourself. I'll give you secret knowledge and power." They look at little elves. They wear little hats. They go, "Oh, take a little green hat off. Oh, I got horns." Seriously.
So 5-MeO DMT when you smoke it, or ayahuasca DMT when you mix the MAOI bush with the ayahuasca vine, so that your stomach didn't break it down. So there's two different types of DMT, because one of them's called Mother Ayahuasca, and the other one's called, little dancing elf clown demon snakes and serpents. So I think Mother Ayahuasca it must be different. Or was Graham Hancock scared out of weed by demons? Was he wrongfully scared away from marijuana? Graham Hancock.
I mean, so people that are atheists go and they see this. It's like, what the hell is this? You have people in groups hallucinating on it.
Because he sure does like to go meet Mother Ayahuasca quite often. I think he's just addicted to that shit now.
We're all talking the same demon, the same time. That's all documented because it lifts the energy.
Take a dab and take a bite of a psilocybin chocolate bar, and you will be approaching liftoff. And you just might achieve it.
It'll veil your eyes.
I said a bite, not the whole chocolate bar.
You're already seeing all this. Your brain's picking it up, but you've got the unconscious, the subconscious is a filter for the cerebral cortex because you can't handle it, folks. You can't handle it. You can't handle it.
Wow. I'll back it up. Just exactly what I said. Well, yeah, he's saying if you were tuned into the universe fully all the time, you would be able to handle it. Even just yawning or coughing or sneezing, it gives you your full hearing once in a while. It gives you your full hearing. Nikola Tesla he got sick as a kid, and all of a sudden he had superhuman hearing for the rest of his life after that, I believe. Maybe it was the rest of his life. Maybe it came and went. Maybe he could achieve it and suppress it because it was painful for him. He could hear a train miles away. Nobody else could. Because we can all hear it when it's in the neighborhood, or when it's just 1 or 2 miles away. But I mean, supposedly it was so intense for him, it was painful when everybody else could just, barely hear that there was a train in the distance. It was painful to his ears. But when I can't remember if I was yawning, coughing, or sneezing, and it might have just been the eustachian tubes opening, kind of like when your ears pop. But I wonder if it's possible to actually open if you live in the wild and you become more like a Sasquatch. Do your eustachian tubes stay open all the time so that you have hearing? Here's where I'm getting to the point. That is 4 or 5 times, objectively, I'm trying to be, greater than normal. 4 or 5 times greater than normal. Here's the example. I had my little propane torch burning, and it sounds like, psh, and then I can't remember if it was a cough, yawn, or sneeze, because I had the allergy respiratory thing going on. Trying to get off on a tangent. So the torch sounds like psh, and then when I either cough, yawned, or sneezed, it was like, and to me that was about 4 or 5 times louder. All of a sudden, and it's not a hallucination, because all of a sudden this physical torch that I turned on right next to me went from to and objectively, I was thinking it was 4 times louder. We have moments of achieving our actual senses that they don't want us accessing.
You're blind, except not in your soul, not in your DNA, not in your electrochemical transceivers. The sixth sense is some weak sense, or main sense, more important than all the others combined. It is your sense. All right, let's go to these people denying it. It just can't be true, even though all of it's just coming out. Here it is.
My general feeling is that people who believe in hate that interview, and I'm not one of the people who believe in it at all. Joining me now in a Kelly File exclusive, James Gillenwater, owner of
Meanwhile, she looks somewhat reptilian.
In Washington. What a terrible ordeal this must have been for you. Yeah,
she's attractive. I'm not even saying she has a manly jaw like I've heard other people say. She's hot. I like her. I'd have kids with her. Well, almost looks a little reptilian or something. Amphibious. No, if Epstein's reptilian, then Trump's amphibious. And it looks like the frog is eating the lizard today.
With his gun, firing shots.
Now, this is an old compilation. Here she is last week saying that, again, she still doesn't believe any of it. Here it is.
Yeah, she resembles Ursula von der Leyen, the face of a turtle. Van der Leyen has. This chick's on her. Was it? What's her name again?
So, no, I don't.
Is that Julie Kelly or is that a?
You interviewed James Gillenwater pizza.
That was Fox.
Oh, was that Fox? I can't recall which station it was, but it was.
A little
So,
my
question. So,
ooh, she looks like she's never done a day of work in her life. I don't like that either. The blonde famous journalist here has scraggly, skinny arms, long, thin fingers, like she's never even picked up a frying pan in the kitchen. Bitch, you better get your ass in the fucking kitchen, bitch, and start working those hands and wrists. What the fuck is going on here? She didn't believe our very own politicians are eating babies and fucking children and having babies suck their dick and shit. I don't know, whatever. She needs to get in the kitchen and just listen to Alex Jones. She needs to stop doing a show and get in the fucking kitchen and pick up a fucking pan that weighs a couple of pounds. Pick it up in a lot of different positions and with both of your hands. And
you didn't press him. They showed an image of a girl take down the ball, and he was smiling. He said it was his goddaughter or whoever. But you didn't press it. But that's grooming. And so I'm not going to the Pizzagate question. My question for you is: have you your on, or do you stand now that you're not working for Fox anymore on that interview?
I don't remember the specifics of that. That people who hate that interview, I'm not one at all. So I can't defend one particular exchange that I don't and I do not believe that Hillary Clinton and John Podesta are running child sex trafficking at no.
Photograph of the girl.
But as I say, I don't remember that.
Let's go to Bill Maher in a moment. Let's just one thing. It's in the WikiLeaks delivering 7, 9, and 11-year-old kids, girls, for John Podesta's pleasure in a hot tub. facility.
I've heard it so many times.
Upstate New York. And all this other garbage. It goes on hours of it just to read the emails, okay? His brother
paid.
just full.
She just seems like she's working for the globalists.
Full magazine spread in the Washington Post 2007 about pedophilia and how great it is, okay? Being tortured and raped. Cartoon paid. So you've seen it, gosh. The New York Times and CNN, they focus, again, I don't know if you know this, but those don't, on Comet Ping Pong, where they had a bunch of and a bunch of weird art and weird stuff, but you can't prove what's going on, and say, oh, none of it's real in that place. Oh, none of it's real in the whole world, all because the story they planted on 4chan and 8chan distraction from all the stuff. And the FBI files and all of it. So that's the game they play. She's a lawyer. She doesn't shame on Kelly.
Not Julie Kelly. Megan Kelly.
I apologized to QAnon a couple of years ago. I said, when it comes to Epstein stuff, you babies. Democrats don't eat babies. They eat babies.
Order mass and sexualize them. Nothing.
No, if there are other. No, you can laugh all you want. But I mean, there is some sick stuff in here that is implying.
But that's not.
I'm not saying they're eating babies. I'm saying there is talk of consumption, and it ain't pizza. And I'm not saying that I am QAnon by any means, but this is deep, dark, satanic, awful, sacrificial, and this stuff is gross.
Here I am, sacrificing myself, saying, you know what, I was wrong, and you don't meet me halfway. And this thing might be eating babies.
Doing it in El Salvador.
QAnon said there's vast elites around the world.
Yeah, the QAnon people take credit for Ted Gunderson and everybody else that exposes and act like it's all the thing. When they put out stuff that is accurate, again, that discredits all the real stuff. And QAnon. No, the emails, the FBI files, the survivors describing stuff years ago, now in the emails, in the same dates, the same places. The Attorney General of New Mexico is saying, no, they're pretty sure there's dead bodies in Toro Ranch underground bases. Okay. It's all coming out, boys and girls. It's all coming out. And I don't think Bill Maher's involved. I don't think Bill's involved, but they can't get their mind wrapped around their operate and act like this. Now, coming in, some of the latest emails, hunting people.
Bitch is going to get her ass in the fucking kitchen when the shit drops, huh? Picking that wrist up, bitch.
Cannibalism. A lot of these straight up cannibalism, straight up torture, straight up sex.
Get some fucking heft in your fingers.
It's like, you want it redacted. You got all the good members of Congress that passed a law to get it in. They are allowed to see the unredacted.
And not fat. Not stubby fat fingers. No. We need long, strong, gnarly hands.
Searching these emails, you go on the House floor, blow it up on the screen, and show us who it is. Let's do it. Put it in the congressional record. That's what I call for IC to do.
Well, hey, everybody's different. I just don't want fat people thinking they have thick, strong hands. If you have fat hands, you don't have thick, strong hands.
Going to do it. Okay? I didn't say it was covering up. I said it will be if they don't all start doing it. Well, wait, Trump's going to do the covering up?
And just because you have thick hands doesn't mean you have strong hands. It's best to have strong hands. Whether somebody else thinks they're thick or not, it's best to have really strong hands.
Yeah, make them release it all unredacted too. I'm saying we've got this. These good members can do it. So I'm going with what we got. Comprende. Woo! Whatever you do, share the feed at Real Long Shows on X.
Even Jocko Willink has little hands. He has to tape his pinky up. Yeah, that's why I say arm wrestling is the best sport in the world. What should a man strengthen first? His hands. If there's any body part that comes to mind, well, some would argue the heart, but how do you do that? Well, you'd have to run. Okay, so you have to move your legs around, and you'd rely on your feet. So it's ultimately feet is the answer, right? So it's hands and feet, and they make us wear casts on our feet in the form of these types of shoes, boots and shoes, to where we don't strengthen our feet. And see if I can get this pilot to get back on by letting oxygen in the car. Oh, come on. I bet it comes right back on there. Yep. Automatic CO2 shut off. Or low. O2 shut off. But since we wear these casts on our feet all the time, we don't strengthen them. We have weak, thin, frail feet as a society. And I think it's a shame. But yeah, the answer is this hands outside of feet, which gets even less emphasis.
On Rumble, show there, and sure.
If you thought the answer was pecs or biceps or back or legs or glutes, you have to make contact with your hands or feet in order to do that. So simply by cause and effect, the answer has to be hands and feet. The answers have to be hands and feet if a man's going to strengthen anything first.
And support the transmission day as far as the last day. Every order.
Same for a woman. Same for a woman.
At thealexstore.com. Free hat.
Strengthen your hands and feet, people.
It's the nice black on white by design 7076 ring stars. By the Patriots. It's word out. It's really nice. thealexstore.com.
If you have strong arms, in fact, work it. You can do it simultaneously. But if you have strong hands, start working your arms. Once you get strong arms, start working your chest and back. No, because it all comes together. If you work your hands, you work everything. That's inherently what that means. If you work your hands and feet, you end up working everything. You don't just sit on your ass and isolate hand movements.
Our Irish sea moss, our shillet, our ultimate bread, our bovine colostrum is the very best, and it keeps us on the air so we can expose these monsters. They don't just kill you with sacrifice and all this. They kill you with the poison shots. They kill you with the 5G. It's their religion. They kill you with wars. They kill you with chemtrails. They kill you by brain.
Also, grip is the last thing to go. So don't think if an old man gets his hands on you, you're safe. Old man can still do some damage if he gets his hands on you. Possibly. I mean, not the hip replacement, diabetic, thin skin, edema, blood thinners, a fake medicine cocktail, 70-year-old, but an in shape 70-year-old, RFK. I think he could fuck somebody up if he wanted to.
Water. You have to get to a point where we are self-sufficient again, Texas.
75-year-old.
Food, our food, number one. The Florida put that back. All these brands have got like hundreds of times. Oh, it's gonna.
The Kennedys are still battling and beating the deep state. Yes. John and Robert Kennedy are still fucking up the CIA, In-Q-Tel, Expert Tech, the descendants of the East India Trading Company, the Committee of 300, the Trilateral Commission. Yeah, we're getting all off in that. Clean tight pussy is what Christian American men think about. But we know that you guys do some other stuff, but we're getting all off in that, aren't we? We Americans and John Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy. We're getting all off in there.
It's going to change your brain. It's going to set you up.
Oh yeah, it's accelerant or it destroys the blood-brain barrier. So that's the protective thing that happens. The cerebral spinal fluid inside the brain, and it attacks the outside. Once that barrier is subject to all kinds of heavy, it gets sprayed from the sky, right? Barium, aluminum, all these things that are protected from. Methylene blue works. It does it counters that. Let me ask you that. 45 minutes.
Yeah, they create strange creatures in the clouds. I'm tired of the man-made weather. I'm tired of the fake weather, the fake map, the fake history, the fake money, the fake laws. I'm tired of being surrounded by fakeness. And it's not a problem that I have. It's not a problem that just I have. It's actually time to change things, folks. Change the channel if you want. But I say change your life, all of us, to actually make an impact here. As in, stop paying these baby eaters. Stop paying these kid fuckers. Stop paying somebody else to operate your own property. And if somebody shows up to question you and they don't want to get off of your property, kill them. Have a shootout. All of us need to have shootouts with anybody who comes questioning us as to why we didn't pay somebody else to operate our own property. They're not going to kill us all. We're going to band together and defeat them.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Honest though, without it, effect I'm getting, but yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
If they don't leave your property when you ask them to, and you feel threatened to kill them.
Bye. The way.
What are they going to do? Show up with an entire army at each farm? To each farm? Fuck no. We're going to see where they're coming from. And all us farmers and bikers and truckers and plumbers and electricians and trashmen and delivery drivers and maintenance men are going to show up to fight them. We're going to show up to kill them. When they hassle you about as to why you didn't pay somebody else to operate your own property.
Way it feels, going down, drinking. So this one tastes better. Yeah. Wow. We'll go down the road without guys. Oh, you're getting.
Vote for me for President of the United States of America, James Lee Gillenwater. Write my name in on the ticket. They'll have to elect me if everybody votes for me. If not, we'll kill them. Right?
Hey, this is Dr. Chambers here. I'm out in the field right now.
Legally, properly, by hanging them from the neck until they're dead after they receive their proper day in court. Because they're breaking the law. The real law.
Day off from camp.
God's law.
Trail doing some work. I got things to catch up on, so it's called a refit day. I'm refit with Alex Jones' methylene blue. It's pretty good. I got to say, I've been using it on the road.
You take your Talmud and your Quran and shove it up your man-made pussy. You fucking cut some Quran apart and put it in your fucking titty implants. Because guess what? This is America. And I'm coming to fuck the people that are actually breaking God's laws. I'm coming to fuck you.
We left the studios, and I've been taking it for a while. I had a traumatic brain injury in Iraq in 2004. Been a lot of studies out there that show that with
Stuff your fake vagina with your Talmud and build some fake titties with the Quran. I'm coming to fuck you.
dementia and TBI patients, it's been used for years. It's just not very well known with regard to demyelination, what it can do to improve your cognition. So that's good. That's your brain housing being shut. Hey, thanks, Alex. Appreciate you. We're going to stay on.
Powered by methylene, ultra methylene. That's CashApp.com.
Whatever the future may hold, InfoWars will always live forever. The fight will continue. Be sure to follow us on
both of these fucking illegitimate religions want to use us as their pawn. We're the only thing standing in their fucking way of their Messiah returning. No, bitch, the Messiah was already here. I need to fuck you in my own special way.
X at Real Alex Jones and at AJN Live. And now you can download the #1 news app in the world. Go to AlexJonesApp.com and let the Democrat State Party know that we will never be silenced.
Thanks for all your support. Today and tomorrow, the last day, 100.
I'm an American Christian man.
Time X amazing raffle. Both of the offerings of the Shelby Mustang and awesome Ford off-road truck. You get 100x every dollar you spend on the store. Put in the raffle. You get put in for just the next 2 days. Just all that's left. You get both vehicles. That ends tomorrow. Every order in the site for a very limited time is tapped. And this is a classic design that I put out on 13 stars around 776. It's and it's exciting. And every order on top of the sales that are already there for limited time gets a free 1776 ball cap at thealexshowstore.com.
Which one are you? I thought you were your mom.
A frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Alex Jones.
Yes, sir.
Himself, there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
Here we are.
That he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited. So the answer is no. For the
Senator John Kennedy fucking the deep state. Check it out. Watch him expose him.
information that we have. In the files. In the case file. Okay.
Clearly put the deep state spokesman out into the open and exposed the lie. He just doesn't have access to the case files. So the head of the FBI doesn't have access to the the actual case files, or admittedly the case files have been altered, mutilated, mutated, poisoned, sterilized, just like they're doing to us and our children.
All right, welcome back to the Alex
John Kennedy.
My name is Thomas.
Don't we love Senator John Kennedy? And is it Congressman Tim Burchett or Senator Tim Burchett? I think it's Congressman. Maybe Senator. And Joseph Latipo, is he the Attorney General or the Surgeon General of Florida?
And researchers here. Alex asked me to fill in, and I have a lot to cover right now. And of course, that was Kash Patel, the FBI director, telling us that there is no known accomplices. There's nothing there to trafficking of children, anybody else besides himself and Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, I'd like to first go back to Pizzagate, because right now the mainstream media is now reporting that Pizzagate is probably true. The Comet Ping Pong, of course, was a big distraction, but cheese pizza and code words are known FBI code for child pornography. And one particular email from a man, Dr. Harry Fisher, talks about grape soda and pizza, a weird combo, if you will. Some are speculating maybe.
Well, grape is rape, right? Now that I think about it. People keep saying that so that their algorithm doesn't get destroyed. They're trying to subvert the beginnings of the beast system already. Me, I just get assassinated by platforms that are actually exposed as un-American and fake, such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. They just keep hitting me and hitting me. And yeah, it's up to me as to whether or not I want to let them assassinate me. But it kind of sucks when a sucker bitch steals 18 years of your life from you. Or a partial record of your whole adult history, your whole adult life. It kind of sucks when sucker bitch does that. And Rumble is not too far behind. I mean, at least they still let me come on stream. YouTube still lets me stream, only because they eased up on their restrictions. They just don't show my stuff to anybody. That's the thing. If every company actually assassinates me digitally, then they're going to be exposed somehow. I'm going to find a way to expose them outside of using their social media platforms. I will. I'll figure it out. If they just start killing all of us, it's just they're gonna expose themselves. Even Rumble. So they just don't show your stuff to anybody anymore.
Grape soda may have something to do with black children.
They would expose themselves as the enemy. Enemies to freedom, to free speech. Who are found basically siding with the British East India Trading Company descendants.
But this article here from New York Mag, the new Epstein files
instead of George Washington, who tariffed them,
support the conspiracy. So here it says, apparently, some of the pizza-related material seems pretty weird. In April 2018, a message from a redacted sender says, "Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand. Go no."
So far, Rumble is the only one that sides with George Washington in terms of the social media platforms. Snapchat and TikTok, one's Chinese, one's Jewish now. Oh, fuck! I feel like I'm not worth anything when I'm on their sites because I know they're un-American. Same with YouTube. I'm actually helping the enemy when I watch YouTube. Rummel's the only one that still seems to primarily side with George Washington instead of the British East India Company, who sailed in, took our capital, and northern states, started burning down and flooding our country, and then sparked the Civil War and burned down and flooded the rest of our country. So all the rest side with the global trading company. Who do you think took down the World Trade Centers? World Trade, Global Trade, British East India Trading Company, Committee of 300, Trilateral Commission, Jeffrey Epstein, Dancing Israelis, Jewish Satanist, white supremacists. Check it out. It's not even a hop, skip, and a jump. It's still George Washington versus the British East India Trading Company. When we tariff them, they hate it. They've already taken our country over, but they still hate it when we tariff them. Can you believe that? They've already enslaved us, and they still hate it when we tariff them a little bit.
Cryptic. Some of it is scrutable. Go no appears to be a rendering of an English derivative of the Yiddish expression give a's, which is roughly equivalent to go figure. The claim that no one else can understand. So this is code. They're telling you that no one else can understand what they're talking about. They want more pizza and grape soda. Pizza and grape soda belongs to the latter category, and frequently Epstein's emails and texts in the 2008.
Rape juice. That's the blood, right? Pizza is the flesh. They're saying they want more flesh and blood. They're just saying they want more flesh and blood.
Astrologist Harry Fish, who erroneously Epstein contacts as Harry Fish, spelled differently. The two seem to discuss refilling Epstein's prescription for erectile dysfunction medication. Fish later texts, after you use them, wash your hands and let's go get pizza and grape soda. This proposal seems odd. There are many things you can do after your Viagra kicks in. Getting a slice with your doctor is not the top of the list.
But fucking kids is. For the British East India Trading Company descendants, fucking kids is. They get their ED. He got his dick pills, and immediately his doctor says, hey, let's go fuck kids. Let's go fucking eat kids. I gave you dick hardening pills. Now let's go fucking eat kids. Satanists are everywhere, folks. In the police force, in the healthcare industry. This is his urologist. Oh, you think it's a one-off? Give me a break. Yeah, wow. Oh, I'm just going to start laughing at people's faces when they, when they think that each time a Satanist gets busted, it's an isolated incident. I still hold out hope that what we're in is actual Christians, Jews and Muslims. You know, people that want to get along together, live well. They know that Christians are the one who's really right at the end of the day. So they actually, Muslims and Jews allow themselves to live under Christian rule. It's apparent that we're the ones who are correct. But now we have Satanists. We have extremists and Satanists in our midst. It's time we reassert our dominance, folks. Christians. And conservative American Muslims and Jews. And I don't like putting these labels in there, but actual freedom-loving Muslims and Jews, it's time they band together with real Christians to kill the Satanists. It's time we kill the Satanists legally by hanging them from their neck until they're dead after court, or firing squad after court, and for their crimes, for their clear child fucking and baby eating crimes. It's time we find all of them. It's time we make an effort to find all of them.
Context, it might be funny, but the confluence of pizza and grape soda with Epstein, a man increasingly known for exactly one thing, and boner pills is enough to drive a reasonable person to conjecture. So he is emailing him about pizza. There's so many emails here asking, can we go get pizza? This is in the Virgin Islands. We want to go to Red Hook, which is there in the Virgin Islands, for a quick pizza meal. I mean, why are you asking somebody if they want to go to the restaurant and go get it? I mean, this is all code.
Is jerky adult human flesh and pizza baby or child flesh?
Stuff here. And here, after he asks about the pizza, he says, of course, do we have any meat tenderizer for a sting? No, just a sting, no problem. Is there baking soda? So a lot of weird stuff. They're tenderized.
Meat tenderizer for a sting. Okay. So they make something burn somehow. What are they making sting? Are they stinging their tongues? Are they stinging their skin? Are they stinging they're making adrenochrome by stimulating the child before they kill it. By scaring the infant into an adrenaline rush and then killing it so that the meat and blood are flooded with adrenaline and adrenochrome. Is that what the tenderizer and sting is? I always thought that the adrenaline rush made the meat harder or just gamier flavored. I'm not sure. Ooh. But a lot of these Satanists like nasty shit. They like rotten pussies, pussy blood, shit. They cover themselves in feces. They ejaculate into cakes. They like nasty, rotten shit. And so maybe they do like a gamier flavored meat, right? And so that's actually maybe what the adrenochrome's all about. I mean, when you kill a deer while it's scared, they say the meat just doesn't taste as good because of the adrenaline rush. But these people are doing that on purpose to the children and to people, to babies, children, and people. I haven't really heard of any old people being sucked dry yet. Wow. Wow, anyway.
And here is some of the emails with Dr. Harry Pitt.
Oh. So if it's an adrenaline dump into the blood of an old person, you don't call it adrenochrome. You just call it adrenalized blood, or why do they add the chrome to it? Because there's human growth factor in there as well, and something about what a baby or a child produces that adults don't anymore. Is it from an uncalcified pineal gland? Where does the chrome part come in? Like, obviously there's iron in the blood and then adrenaline, but iron is not chrome. Iron and chromium are clearly two different elements, but pretty sure chrome plating is chromium. But where else do you get the word chrome? Does it just mean red and then crimson? What is chrome? Because we all know about adrenalized blood and even when you deer hunt. But this adding the word chrome to it must deal with a growth hormone that babies have that we don't.
Holy bloop, Chunky. I forgot about what time do you want to get soda tomorrow? I mean, over and over again. Guy is great soda. Over and over again.
Chunky.
And right now there's actually a clip from Trax, New York City, who's a Diamond District jeweler. He is actually called Uncut Gems, where he basically plays a version of himself.
The baby he just received was a fat baby. Oh, that he or she received was a fat baby. Whoa, chunky, huh?
By the Safdie brothers, who have done Uncut Gems and Marty Supreme, a lot of movies that are pretty big right now. I want to go to the clip of Trax New York City asking,
Is that eating a baby and then instantly wanting another one tomorrow? Is that what that is? I can't wait to start killing these people. That's what I was born for. It's what I was revived for when I was born dead.
anybody out there who can confront Dr. Harry Fish on video and ask him, what does he mean about the grape soda and the pizza? Let's roll that clip now.
I'm giving you an ounce of gold if you can help me with pizza and grape soda, particularly with Dr. Harry Epstein files. He wrote, after talking about pills for ED, wash your hands and let's go get pizza and grape soda. So, Dr. Harry Fish, you're having pizza and grape soda with Epstein, is that it, or is there something else? Well, if there's some hero in America that wants to pay the doctor a friendly visit and ask him on camera about what pizza and grape soda is, send me that video and an ounce of gold is yours. First come, first serve. Follow all the laws. FBI, an ounce of gold right here for you if you find out. And send me that video with Dr. Harry Fish.
I think we all want to know what's going on with pizza and grape soda. And a little incentivization doesn't hurt to motivate people. Of course, what he's asking is perfectly legal as a citizen journalist to go out there and put these people on camera. I mean, that's what the InfoWar is all about. Going out, being on the ground, and peacefully getting this stuff documented and getting information out there. Now, the directors that actually the movie that Trax is in, Uncut Gems, did an interview before Pizzagate was even a viral sensation where everyone was believing that people were eating children and trafficking them. They actually did an interview where they were exposed to the dark web, and said that it's full of pizza, which is child pornography. I'd like to roll that clip now.
like 5 websites that people go to now. 5. I mean, there should be millions of websites. And if you ever go into the deep web, it's so hard to navigate. But like, and it's very steampunk, the deep web. I mean, have you ever spent time on the deep web? Okay, it's mostly child pornography, which is known. It has a moniker as cheap pizza. Go into the Pastebin site, like, and that's how you like know. Like, I don't go to the cheap sites. There's so much of it down there, which I'm.
Well, before the world.
Take the communist subversion out of your pea brain, the Quran out of your fake tits, and the Talmud out of your man-made false vagina. Your bottom surgery and your top surgery. So take the atheism, Quran, and Talmud out of your pea brain, fake tits, and bottom surgery, and convert. Learn about what Jesus did. Learn about what Jesus did. How he killed the killers. How he stopped human sacrifice. How the fuck do you think he stopped the human sacrificers? They don't want to tell you about that. I have a strong feeling, an inclination, you might say, as to how exactly he was able to stop the human sacrificers. He didn't just say, here, take me. No. He lived a life of fighting and killing these evil pieces of shit. I just know it. And they don't want us to tell them. They don't want us to know that. They don't want to tell us about that. What do you think when the British East India Trading Company captured our capital in northern states and then subverted us into a civil war? It wasn't about slavery. Slavery was ending anyway. Everybody knows it. Why do you think they burned down all of our Knights Templar churches and sacred Native American sites? In Wild West pioneer settlements that had wooden churches. Because you got stone churches that were actually here first, even before the Pilgrims, built by the Knights Templar, who always got along with the natives. Why do you think they destroyed all that? They're Satanists. I think that's the point I was getting to. Okay.
What about world?
It's time you convert to learning about the Lord. And it's time we uncover the hidden history about him and us.
That was like the first like avatar-based message.
I went into their men room or something like that, and I thought it was going to be on television. I found out quickly it was not.
What does he stand for?
Transvestite. That's. I very confused.
Is there really a tranny queen running Antarctica? A tranny queen operating the Hoover Dam? A tranny queen operating CERN? A tranny queen hiding out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There's a continent-sized perfect circle no-fly zone. There's a tranny queen giving orders to most of our politicians and federal and state workers. A tranny queen is running all that? A tranny. You're taking orders from a fucking tranny. There's a man and there's a woman. And it's possible that a hermaphrodite can occur, I guess. But that's all natural. It's time we learn about the life of Jesus and how many Satanists he killed with his bare hands.
It's amazing the idea that you have this ability kind of stuff that
put it into your hand and then write it on the wall. That is what spirit cooking is, and that's what's in the Hillary emails, the WikiLeaks, and the Podesta emails. And I just got so much information here. I'm going to go back to these Epstein emails.
I don't think enforce the gun mandate.
They're talking about cream cheese, and they're talking about babies.
When I'm governor, you have to own a gun.
They love cream cheese and babies.
When I'm governor, you have to own a gun to live in my state. You'll have 6 months to purchase a firearm from the time I take office, or you're going to be penalized. You know what? How about this, actually? Maybe in the name of freedom, you don't have to. Yeah, hold on. But then again, you do. It's a mandate from George Washington in 1790, and nobody wants to talk about it. Yeah, I'm going to uphold the mandate. They want to brand you a criminal for not having car insurance or paying somebody for you to own your own land. It's time I start busting their ass for not owning a gun. Everybody's getting their ass busted if they don't own a fucking gun.
So, folks, they're buying babies, they're doing genetic testing, and they are trying.
Hey, then again, two wrongs don't make a right, or one right doesn't. Well, yeah, one right can undo two wrongs. So how about this? We're going to change it from property tax and car insurance to gun. There you go. You will no longer have to pay property tax or be forced to buy car insurance. It's optional, just like health insurance. It's optional for the citizen. But you do have to own a gun. That's what we're going to switch it to. So it's actually going to be trading two tyrannies for one freedom insurer. Actual insurance. A gun is actual insurance. Right? Not paying some mafia kike. Oh, a good Jewish person is not a kike. Only a mafioso is. A wannabe mafioso is a kike. And that's it. Everybody's afraid to say kike. Everybody's a cucked up traitor bitch. Trader Joe, huh? Well, try being surrounded by traitor bitch. Surrounded by traitor bitches at Trader Joe's. Not giving a fuck about their ancestors, unless they are descendants of the enemy. Huh. Wow. All the big, strong, real Americans they penalized because they're jealous globalists. I think that they enslaved our black people. I don't think we did. I don't think we ever owned slaves, as you might say it. I think that the British East India Company were always the slave owners. And I don't know. They're definitely the ones who threw our Native Americans off their land. That would be the British East India Company and their descendants, not the average white Christian. I'm here to set the fucking record straight. I think they were afraid of the blacks and enslaved them. I think that's all British East India Company. We we strong, hardworking Christian whites were never afraid of black people. You know what I mean? We wouldn't enslave black people. We wouldn't enslave anybody. But of course, there were white slaves too. So a lot of Christian men were slaves, white men, or indentured servants as well. I think that they had to enslave the black people in order to take our country. They had to push the natives off of their sacred land, enslave the blacks, and get the whites to genocide each other in order to fully take our country. That's what they had to do. We all got along before that. I'm coming up with my own more accurate version of history. Somebody wants to ban free thought. How about I fuck you first with my fist for free, faggot? Fuck with me. Oh. How about I uphold my mandate from George Washington that I have to purchase a firearm and other military equipment. Nothing else. That's the only mandated purchase. And I fuck your face with my fist. I would not even using the gun. I mean, I wouldn't have to against a real faggot, you know? Now, a strong, hardworking American person that just happens to be gay, especially possibly due to man-made chemicals, maybe. That's still up for debate. I mean, I don't know if God makes gay people or not, but I know that I know now he does because of our manipulation. I think that God does now make some gay people. He doesn't even make all gay people. I think you can also choose to be gay, of course. But I think that the natural gays are also increasing in percentage because of fuck. Well, yeah, because of the chemicals. Because of the chemicals. Because of the cocktail. Because of the cocktail, the vaccine, the Roundup. Isn't it strange that they only test the glyphosate in Roundup? They don't test all the Roundup? They don't test what Roundup does to your system? They never have? Publicly? They've only tested the one so-called active ingredient. And now they want to keep hitting us with it. They want to keep spraying our food with it. They say we need it in order to keep making food. And I say, that's bullshit. That's wrong. That's false. That's a hoax. It's a fake, phony farce. It's a depopulation psyop or lie. I mean, that's just a statement. So that's just a lie. But it is part of there's psyop involved in the depopulation agenda. But there's also physical changes to your DNA from their chemicals. Physical changes to your hormones by their chemicals. Physical changes to your brain by their chemicals. And so I think we have natural gay people and man-made gay people. Now we have man-made retards. No offense, I'm sorry, to any parents of autistic children out there, or to anybody who's autistic, but we have man-made retardation, and the lack of puberty, early and incomplete puberty, half puberty, partial puberties, enlarged clitorises, micro penises. They are really doing a number on us, man. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to fucking kill back. That's exactly what they're doing to us. They're fucking us and they're killing us. It's time to fucking kill back. And that's how we repopulate America with good people, is by fucking and making babies. So we have to kill the bad people, and the good people have to start fucking again. I even think multiple wives is okay. If our president says we can take out cartel terrorists posing as American citizen families, we just might have some more wives on our hands. American men. Those women just might marry a Christian when their drug lord finally gets busted. The kids might have better families if they get switched from
slit your throat to Collie and give the blood to Collie.
If the kids go from a cartel terrorist in bed, technical American citizen family, enemy within, to a regular Christian American household, imagine the beauty that you're creating in that once those children receive a better home.
Congressman Massey responded to my breakdown yesterday, where I spent like 7 minutes breaking down all the new Epstein stuff, about 7 minutes on him. And I just said, hey, the Trump administration is guilty trying to suppress this. The Democrats did it previously. Now,
the direct wives of the wannabe kingpins and shit, they might marry Christian, and then the children of the cartel criminals. Yeah, there's men and women, but if some of the women are just there because they're kind of forced into it a little bit, then they can directly marry. But then also the daughters of the cartel members, since they are American citizens, they can actually go to Christian households and be raised up and become good wives. Once they reach maturity, of course, obviously, with all this shit going on.
I'm not an influencer, by the way. I'm a patriot and a journalist and a pundit and analysis and a futurist and a father and a guy who loves God. Influencer comes from the time of Plato and Aristotle and Socrates. And influencers are people that use rhetoric without facts and reality and logic to convince dumb people. So when the globals call you all influencers and you go, yeah, I'm an influencer, it just shows how stupid you are. Stop calling yourselves influencers. I'm a philosopher. I'm a warrior. I'm a game changer. I'm a historian. I'm a fighter. I'm a pioneer. I'm an explorer. I got red blood. It's pumping in my big heart fast. I like life and freedom and justice. I like women. I like red meat. I like guns. I like sunsets and puppy dogs. And ladies of the night. Dakota, Waylon Jennings.
when I'm governor of whatever state it ends up being, maybe it'll be this one, but you're going to receive a firearm in the mail, complimentary, if you move there. Or actually, anybody who signs up for the governor's mandate they'll receive they'll receive one free firearm in the mail.
Well, particularly in Puerto Vallarta, but in Guadalajara, many other areas of Mexico, airports, hospitals are being.
And there might be a couple options. I think I would like to arm my citizens with a rifle and a pistol. So you're going to get a choice between Henry and Marlin, and then a choice between Colt and Glock or something. But then again, Glock is Austrian. It needs to be an American company. So Colt and Springfield. You can either get a revolver or a 1911. you can get 45 Magnum or 45 Auto. You see what I'm saying? A Colt 45 or a semi-automatic 45, and then the rifle will also just be. Oh damn! Well, if you're using auto on one, okay. Well, then it'll be an option. You can either use continuous ammo. The Henry or Marlin will also be a Colt 45 or 44 Magnum or government 45-70, whatever the round ends up being. But I would like to have continuous ammo through the revolver and rifle lever action. And then if somebody wants the 1911, it'll be a different type of bullet than what the rifle is, most likely, right? But then again, you can very well have auto loading ammo in your lever action. They do make them like that as well, right? Pretty sure 45 auto lever actions exist. So maybe we'll do a 45 auto Henry and a 45 Colt Marlin. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, just having fun with it. But in general, when I'm governor of a state or president of the United States, you will be able to fill out a form and receive your free handgun or rifle in the mail as a vetted, law-abiding U.S. citizen who is not actually a cartel in bed or a sleeper cell.
This is what the FBI released. 98% has not been released. They said a few weeks ago, we've released half of what we have. Now we learn, no, that's half of the 2%. And can you imagine what is being held back? And you got everybody in disbelief, like Megyn Kelly, there's no way this is happening.
And if somehow some shitty state gave you a felony for not paying property taxes or car insurance or some shit like that, you're still getting your gun. Trust me, you're still getting your gun. That's not a felony, dumbass.
It's the same thing. Underground stuff, you name it. And Zorro Ranch was
it's not a fucking misdemeanor either, stupid bitch.
never rated. First,
but breaking into this country it's not a civil matter. A misdemeanor is a criminal matter. Why the fuck would you call a misdemeanor a civil matter? Why are these dumbasses allowed to run around and do that? Oh, because Obama repealed the Smith-Mundt Act, saying anybody in the news can fucking lie to us, for the CIA and FBI, the deep state, the globalists, the descendants of the British East India Trading Company, whom George Washington tariffed.
inside Epstein's last refuge.
If you have a fake
with buried bodies and celeb guests.
It paused on its own? Wow, my mind paused it. My finger unpaused it when I was trying to pause it. Okay, nice. So am I just melding with the Matrix or what? Check this out. Check this out, Agent Smith. Let me know if you have a fake felony when I'm governor or president and you're still getting your firearm.
Into the facility, got onto the grounds with a shotgun and gasoline, got killed. It's all.
Let me know if you've ever put on a list and you're still getting a firearm.
Coming up today, remember, you're the Paul Revere's. The way we reach more people is you sharing the live feeds to the local radio station you're listening to.
If you have a fake felony or have been slandered and put on a list, you're still receiving a handgun and a rifle for free in the mail when I'm your governor or president. Write my name in on the ticket, James Lee Gillenwater. For governor of Kansas. I got to start somewhere, man. Because it turns out states do have a lot of power to go against the feds, right? And with all this, I hope Trump is actually going to set us right, even if it includes martial law or partial martial law in the bad parts of the country. I really hope our country gets set right. And I have faith in some of the people up there right now, but not all of them, of course. I have my doubts, suspicions, and own analyses of who some of the enemy might be. Like J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio might be enemy. J.D. Vance might be acting so cool, but he's actually kind of a little fucked up piece of shit. You know what I mean? Fucking admiring a globalist atheist, Peter Thiel. No, fuck you. I say fuck you. So, vote for me for governor of Kansas, James Lee Gillenwater. Write my name in on the ticket. They'll have to put me in, or else they will be going against the will of the people, and we will overthrow them. All right, here we go. Putting it out there.
Because unfortunately, he upset everyone he come across. He was the most unpopular member of the royal family while I was there. And he was just...
Or we will restructure our government in an expedited manner that seems fit.
It's just rude, arrogant. I mean, his sense of self-entitlement was breathtaking.
The Epstein fallout, raining like molten disgust from the sky, is so widespread that the panic amongst the normies has cracked wide open, while the scramble to close Pandora's box by the ghoulish establishment continues to ramp up.
Feel free to find some land and hunt on it and keep it when I'm governor. And make sure you bust poachers. Oh, yeah. You're definitely getting a bonus for busting poachers. But everybody has the right to hunt and eat. You're not going to need to rely on Chinese Jewish notes when I'm governor.
They had funding from the Home Office in the 90s. Those people are still around. In fact, one of the members of the Paedophile Information Exchange is the treasurer of Edinburgh Pride. Some of them are academics and they look very, very, professional as they're talking about the importance of, giving children their own autonomy.
Tom O'Carroll is a self-confessed, unrepentant pedophile. And
going to be a lot more public land opening up when I'm governor.
One of the founding members of the Pedophile Information Exchange. He now shies away from advocating the age of 4. Too easily misunderstood, he says.
The age of 4 came into it insofar as children by that age are normally verbal and can normally say whether they are liking a particular kind of activity or not.
A proclivity passed down from the...
I'm dealing with a bunch of commie pussies and CIA wash-ups. Of course I can win. Write my name in on the ticket. For governor of Kansas, James Lee Gillenwater. Gillenwater. And we're going to crush these Satanists.
It wasn't just American paranoia. British intelligence, too, noted that Mountbatten had a lust for working-class youth, often teenage naval cadets, the kind who couldn't say no. In the 1970s, guests at his Broadlands estate described weekends filled with entertainment that rarely included his wife.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was arrested on his...
They wanted to install Mike Pompeo, formerly fat, slobbering, tiny hands, lying, just terrible aura, shitty sounding and looking Mike Pompeo. Ooh. I'm ashamed he was one of my fucking senators. You gotta be shitting me, bitch. Vote for me for governor. Write my name in on a ticket. For governor of Kansas, James Lee Gillenwater. We're coming to fuck these Satanists. If I win the popular vote, we're gonna get them.
Former homes the next...
We're not gonna let them stop us if I win the popular vote.
Day. Fresh emails show him allegedly sharing sensitive UK government information about trips to Southeast Asia and Afghan investments with Epstein back in 2010 to 2011 during his trade rep days.
Now they're releasing photos out of the Epstein file of him with fake breasts with babies, playing with babies on the ground with fake breasts, and there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails all about how do we get babies to suck better. Well, you play a tape with their mama when they're real hungry, you stick it in their mouth. This is training age to get the babies to willingly approach you. Oh, you like playing with that breast, that fake rubber breast here. Here's the breast right here for you. To give them a fake breast with milk in it or whatever. They used to suck it on that, and they just bring them over and now suck on this. And I'm sorry to be gross, but that's what Ted Gunderson told me they did 30 years ago. Now it's in the files.
Do you, sir, believe that these dreadful allegations of babies being sacrificed are true?
I absolutely believe it, without any doubt. Based on the information that's been given to me across the country by numerous survivors and by confidential sources and informants.
Then why didn't you name these people and arrest them? Never a name, never an arrest. These women come out of a group and they insist that they know the people in the group, and yet they do not identify these large, mysterious cults. Name them and arrest them and get them off the street.
Does he not make a valid point?
He makes a valid point. The problem with that is, number one, police officers don't believe it. I may believe it. You may believe it. Some people in your audience may believe it. They don't believe it. Number two, if you decide to investigate these people, you have to, number one, handle it from an undercover operation. If you put an undercover operation into effect, then you have, in a sense, your own police officers become involved in these heinous crimes, and they are, of course, become murderers.
John Bound reporting for InfoWars.
All right, we're going to get back into the latest developments on the Epstein firestorm. Congressman Massey responded to what I had to say yesterday, saying, you and the rest of Congress have the power to unredact. You have access to the unredacted. And that's the first thing MTG said when Congress was given access, which they congressionally weren't given. They can have it, and they ordered it, basically. The DOJ knew that. And she said, then we need to have searches for pizza, searches for beef jerky, searches for sex slave, which is all in there, all that stuff. And I'm not mad at Massey. I know the DOJ is covering it up. I'm saying, though, 3 weeks has gone by now, and I've got thousands of these horrible emails, and Massey responded again today, and I'm going to just leave it at that. been in communication. I'll leave it there. He said, absolutely. He goes, I'm burning the candle at both ends. I need you, when people send in the emails of what they want checked, send us a list. Make sure you put the code that is at the bottom of each email so we can get it and we will unredact it. Yes, he is a hero. I was not blaming him. I was saying any member of Congress that doesn't start doing this can't then say the DOJ is the only one covering up. They're now aiding.
If you serve in the deep state and you're going against my vote and my God, my country's founding, your time's running short.
Here's some emails we want checked. Here's some, and obviously it's a giant job. He can't do it all. Even all 500 members of the Congress, the House and Senate, they can't do it. But we can certainly get a lot of it out, and then pass another law ordering full unredaction. Now, joining us in a moment.
If you're going against Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, your time's almost up.
From Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, beautiful, there on the West Coast. One of my favorite places in the world, not the main town. That's just flat, it's the Pacific Ocean, but you go about 35 miles south into the rainforest, and this crystal clear green water, prettier than Hawaii. I've never seen stuff this pretty, okay? It's just so sad. Great culture, one of the oldest Catholic churches in this hemisphere is there, 500 years old. I mean, it's just amazing town. And I've researched it. If you go against the cartel there, they've said, we will burn it down, we will blow it up. That's why the Mexican government doesn't do anything, because they're held hostage. I said when this first started 6 hours ago, I said, you watch. The U.S. military was involved in this, and now we're probably going to end up having attacks up here. But that's the way it is, folks, because Trump is actually cutting off the CIA funding. The New York Times said, it'll crash the stock market.
Fuck the cartel.
If you don't let them launder their money. With Trump...
And all of their embeds posing as American citizen families.
It's really different. I don't trust all his administration, the bureaucrats, to actually do it. But this is a big deal, and this is directly out of that. So let's roll some footage here of some of the shootouts, the burning cars, people taken hostage at the airport. All of this dramatic footage. Here it is.
The thing is, they want to come up here and keep working for the cartel, but also live the American life. And they're seemingly torn between being a law-abiding citizen and a cartel criminal. And they choose to continue the cartel criminality while posing as an American. Yet they're citizens. What a coinky-dink we found ourselves in.
But in Guadalajara and other cities, hospitals are being attacked. Hundreds of videos of police and military in gun battles. This all after the Mexican army, with the U.S. help, kills leader of powerful new generation cartel. Mexican forces kill El Mencho, nation's most wanted cartel boss. Trump said they would do this, so they didn't stop shipping in fentanyl. This is a big deal. Major travel advisories to Mexico because of the CJNG cartel. I predict that Trump's going to send in a big military operation if Mexico authorizes it, and they finally have been bending to his will on that. But we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, in the U.S., gun-wielding Guatemalan under deportation order killed in standoff with police in Georgia. Detroit cops suspended for calling Border Patrol during traffic stops in violation of policy. Chief says his goal is to fire them. It's all coming up. Dan Dix joins us for a little bit of this segment and the next segment. Dan Dix is in Puerto Vallarta.
We have a lot of anchor baby cartel. That's where you get the American citizen families that are cartel. Anchor babies. They were anchor babies.
At a conference for the last 5 days, and today was supposed to be my one day on the beach, but that all changed quickly when all of a sudden there was smoke filling the skies. I look around and there's literally cars on fire all around the resort where I'm here for the next day. And as you said, they're setting up roadblocks. They're setting Costco's on fire, Oxo's on fire, storming hospitals, storming airports. It's absolute mayhem right now, Alex. They said potentially they would be entering private homes and hotels, resorts just like this, by 5 p.m. today if their demands are not met. So I don't think this.
I said keep Dick's dick above the dirt, but his last name is Dix, so his last name has an S in it already. So it's keep Dix's dick above the dirt. That's what I said. Hashtag. So hashtag keep Dix's dick above the dirt. He's in Puerto Vallarta, where the cartel's throwing a little temper tantrum because we told them to stop poisoning us or we'd off one of them, and they didn't. So we did.
I don't get too scared often when I do this kind of work, Alex, but I was shaking in my boots for a good 10 seconds there outside this hotel. But I'm in now. I'm safe for now, at least. And we're just going to see where this thing continues to go and how this unfolds over the next day or so. Hopefully, I can.
I want to go back to some footage that just showed you. I believe it was from your site, Press for Truth, where you're standing out on the beach. And it's the most powerful shot I've seen anybody put out yet. And it just shows 20 miles up the coast, all these plumes of smoke from all these fires.
Don't knock Dix's dick in the dirt.
Hey, this is just like one of many plumes of smoke I was able to film. Just earlier to this, hotel staff were telling everybody to evacuate the beach. Everybody left the beach. All the people you're seeing here are new people who came out and didn't even, the chairs open up and they just flood. They didn't know what was happening other than being able to see the smoke here. But yeah, this is my footage of just stepping outside the resort here for a minute, looking around and seeing multiple fires all over the place. There was another one on the other side of the building. So we were essentially surrounded by smoldering, burning cars. As I understand it, they target taxis. There was some attendees at the conference that I was just speaking at who their taxi was taken over. The driver was killed and murdered in front of them. All their luggage, including their passport.
Dang, that's where Kevin Lee, the UFC fighter, fucked up. He went on a major losing streak after he went on Joe Rogan and said he envisions himself beating the Lord into people. Like he's beating the demons out of them. And that is just so presumptuous because once in a while, sure, that's going to be what's occurring. It's quite possible that, sure, once in a while that's what's going to be occurring. But you can't go around assuming you're the good guy that I mean you're better than everybody, that you're the only one who's a fucking real Christian in the fight. You can't be beating another Christian because there needs to be some level of sportsmanship in sports. That's what it is. It's the closest thing we have to fighting, but it's still not. It's actually still not fighting, believe it or not. It's a type of fighting, mixed martial arts. Legal mixed martial arts is a type of fighting. I don't think they really want you to know all the ways you can fight. But what Kevin Lee was talking about is what needs to occur a lot. As soon as we get deputized by our great president. As soon as we, the American militia, we the people, get reminded of our mandate of 1790 by George Washington and the rest of the first Congress. The very first one. To buy a firearm and other military equipment. We might do a little bit of what Kevin Lee was talking about and finally free our great grand nation.